there's going to be a Queen Elizabeth Memorial Committee is meeting to discuss what kind of memorial that we can have for the late Queen. I think in 2026 they're going to announce their findings. Just very briefly, how do you think we could have a memorial? Would it be a statue, a special garden? Is there any way that you think the nation could actually remember her properly?
Well, I think it couldn't be, just couldn't be big enough. I think it should be a garden with a statue as well of everything. And I don't know where, maybe opposite in St James's Park, where she looked out every morning from the palace and saw it there, maybe in there, and have a beautiful garden and a great statue of her.
Yeah,
certainly. I think that'd be true. Not many statues of the Queen, as we know, but but another one perhaps. Yeah, I think.
I just hope we come up with a proper, sensible, not a woke idea. We need something, as Arthur says, a garden, a statue.
I think a garden would be nice. The Queen Elizabeth Garden. It's nice. I travel on the Elizabeth line a lot. And I just think it's a great name. And then the Jubilee line, named after a Jubilee. Is it the Golden Jubilee? I think it was. It was just these are great there for us to remember this great lady, and I feel privileged that I worked with her for 40 years, and I think and I travelled to some amazing places with her and saw some amazing things. I mean, from the White House. I mean, when I don't know if you were there, Dick, when she made her speech and they could only see the top of her hat. And I remember when my Alice Fraser picture was hugging the Queen, the press secretary said, "Well, could you give it to the American papers, please?" I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, at least they'll know the Queen is here." So, those great moments. And I think about those, when she said to me, "I can't believe I'm giving you this," as she pinned my medal on me. I remember that. And I used to send her little pictures from the tours, little sort of 6x4 pictures she put in her diary. And I remember her private secretary saying to me, "Look, she can't thank you for that, but she really likes it." And then I remember there was, I think the Olympics, we had a reception at the palace and I was asked to welcome the Queen and the royal family on behalf of the newspapers. And the first thing she said to me, "Oh, thank you very much for all those pictures you sent me." She said. And of course I was stuck. I said, "Any time, ma'am, just give me a call." I said, I mean, never, ever forget this lovely lady. She was, she served this country brilliantly for over 70 years and got great fond memories of her and always will have.
I've got a lovely letter at home from the Queen. Everyone knows at Christmas that the royal family exchange silly little gifts. Yeah. And when I was working, my guys in the office said to me, "What are we going to give Her Majesty for Christmas this year?" And I said, "I've got just the idea." And we'd had a state visit a few months previously to, I think it was Oman, and one of my inspectors had been down the flea market, and Colin had bought these little tin ducks, cost about £3 each. You'd wind them up, and they'd go around the room, and they'd hit a wall, and they'd carry on, and every 30 seconds, they'd lay a little egg, and it would play music. And typical policeman, we bought 4 or 5 of these, and they were rationing them around the restaurant at lunchtime. And all the household said, "Oh, we want one of those for our children." So Colin had to go back to the flea market and buy 17 of these tin ducks. So anyway, when it came to Christmas, the lad said to me, "What should we give the Queen for Christmas?" I said, "Let's give her a duck." No. "We can't give the Queen a duck. It only costs £3. She'll love it." Anyway, my wife wrapped it up all beautifully and we gave it to the equerry to give to the Queen. And I said, "If there's any fallback and it's just not appropriate, I'm the one to blame." Anyway, I saw the private secretary after Christmas. He said, "Do you know what?" He said, "We all gave the Queen beautiful gifts and we got a sort of a 3-line letter of thanks. You guys have got a completely A4 written letter from the Queen, how it made the Christmas, how all the grandchildren enjoyed playing with this egg, personally signed, and it cost us £3 between 4 of us. So there you go.
Yes, amazing.
She must get, she get every time she goes abroad, she gets all these wonderful gifts, lives in these wonderful palaces, something.
And they're all going to a storage cupboard, and they're all labelled.
Not the duck.
Not the duck. No.
But they're all produced every time you get a visitor.
That's right. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
They just happen to be put in the position of place.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So we've just about fitted in some time for the quick fire questions, which we like to do at the end of the show. So quick fire questions, short answers, whatever you think is relevant. Okay, Arthur, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
What, in your view, was the late Queen's single greatest achievement?
God, I probably for 70 years getting it right all the time, okay. And always. Of being on time, always, and the fact that I suppose her biggest great achievement is she was 70 years with just duty all the time. I think if you looked at one particular time, the fire at Windsor, the breakup of the marriages, she was brilliant, and of course when Diana died, that amazing speech, and the fact that when the coffin went past Buckingham Palace, I thought she was just amazing. So no, I think she's just. And obviously, I didn't know some of these funny stories that you do, Dick. So
I thought you knew all my stories.
And Dick?
Yes.
What do you think is the late Queen's single greatest achievement?
Oh, 100%. What Arthur just said.
Yeah.
Never putting a foot wrong. 100%. I don't think anyone I know can say anything. I remember going to Australia, and just after they'd had the vote on whether to be a republic or to stay with the Queen head of state. And it was like 0.5% or something to stay with the Queen head of state. And by the time the Queen left as the visit, people were saying that if we had the vote now, it'd be 80-20, because everyone just loved her and adored her.
And there wasn't one disparaging mark on that tour. Not one Australian made a disparaging mark against her.
No.
Not one, no.
I can't believe neither of you said the Queen leaping out of a helicopter at the London 2012 Olympics.
Did she do that then?
Funny enough, with that story, we were sitting in the royal box, and I was sitting next to an ambassador from one of the Arab countries, and he turned to me and said, "Our king would never jump out of a helicopter." Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right, just a couple more. Just very quickly, Arthur, what do you think was the late Queen's biggest crisis of a 70-year reign?
Probably the Windsor fire, I think. I think she was really...
The Annus Horribilis that year.
That was the Annus Horribilis, and the same year she had to pay tax, so I imagine it wasn't a good year for her.
And Dick, what do you think was her biggest crisis?
I would say the death of Diane.
Right.
All the politics and the sadness around that, everything she had to deal with then.
Yeah, that was quite a decade, wasn't it? If you could say anything to the Queen right now, Dick, what would it be? If you had the chance to say anything to her.
Anything to the Queen? Thank you, ma'am, for so many wonderful memories. It was a joy working for her, and I miss you a lot.
And Arthur?
Yeah, I think I'd say that too. I think it was a joy to work with her. She was a total professional, you knew if you was patient enough, you'd get the picture.
And a final question. If she wasn't the Queen, if it hadn't existed, what occupation do you think that she would have done? What would she have excelled in?
Probably diplomacy.
Racehorse trainer.
Yeah, or diplomacy, been a great diplomat.
A great politician and a racehorse trainer. Lovely. Thank you, guys.